within your heart. Keep one still, secret spot where dreams may go. The words of Louise Driscoll. Hello once again, I'm Don Jackson. I'm going to take you to some of those secret places to listen to a dreamer's dreams and the heartbeat of the internet. The poet Shelley wrote, "The slow, soft toads out of damp corners creep, and evening's breath, wandering here and there over the quivering surface of the stream, wakes not one ripple from its summer dream." We do have a toad on our property out by our pond this summer. My son took a few selfies beside it. We tagged him the Toad Whisperer. If a stream is capable of dreams, let's imagine what some of those dreams might inspire in someone who might stop at a comfortable spot along its bank. Edgar Allan Poe suggested all that we see or seem is but a dream within a dream. And all my days are trances, and all my nightly dreams are where thy grey eye glances, and where thy footstep gleams, in what ethereal dances, by what eternal streams. I've often wondered if the writer Catherine Mansfield was inspired to write this while sitting by that eternal stream. The mind I love must have wild places. A tangled orchard where dark damsons drop in the heavy grass. An overgrown little wood. The chance of a snake or two. A pool that nobody's fathomed the depth of. And paths threaded with flowers planted by the mind. It's wonderful to be able to find a spot in a field of summer wildflowers or tall grass and to lie back and watch the clouds roll by on a warm summer's afternoon. It wouldn't surprise me, nor should it surprise you, if you were to drift off and sleep long past sunset. Edgar Allan Poe wrote, "Was it not fate on this July midnight? Was it not fate, whose name is also sorrow, that bade me pause before the garden gate to breathe the incense of those slumbering roses? My roses are in bloom. The heady fragrance from all my flowers seems intoxicating in the sultry night air. The aroma from these slumbering flowers is powerful enough to seep into your dreams. It might even rouse you from your midsummer dreams." Richard Demel wrote, "Dark leaves trembling soft. These roses still cast light. In the grass I woke upright. Ah, if only you would come this dark, this deep midnight." And a 7th century Japanese writer, almost in response, wrote, "When evening comes, I will leave the door open beforehand, and then wait for him who said he would come to meet me in my dreams." I was born to catch dragons in their dens and pick flowers, to tell tales and laugh away the morning, to drift and dream like a lazy stream, and walk barefoot across sunshine days. James Kavanagh, author of Sunshine Days and Foggy Nights. John Keats suggested there might be other living things that dream besides roses. As when upon a tranced summer night, those green-robed senators of mighty woods, tall oaks, branch-charmed by the earnest stars, dream, and so dream all night without a stir. The second installment of the Lord of the Rings trilogy was called The Two Towers. It is there that we meet Treebeard. I had wondered, watching the first movie, how the filmmakers were going to portray these wise, ancient tree herders. In this fantastical world of Middle-earth, ancient trees called Ents could converse with travelers. Two of the mischievous hobbits have met up with a creature called Treebeard, one of the oldest living Ents of the forest, a tree herd, for lack of a better description. He said, "We keep off strangers and the foolhardy, and we train and we teach, we walk and we weed. Sheep get like shepherd, and shepherds like sheep, it is said, but slowly, and neither have long in the world. It is quicker and closer with trees and Ents, and they walk down the ages together. Most of the trees are just trees, of course, but many are half awake. Some are quite wide awake. You find that some have bad hearts, nothing to do with their wood. Some of my kin look just like trees now and need something great to rouse them, and they speak only in whispers. Elves began it, of course, waking trees and teaching them to speak and learning their tree talk. They always wished to talk to everything, the old elves did. Time was when I could walk and sing all day and hear no more than the echo of my own voice in the hollow hills. And the smell of the air, I could spend a week just breathing." End quote. There was much to be learned from Treebeard. And who knows, something of Tolkien's Ents could have evolved from fact rather than fiction. The Druids were tree worshippers. They believed that spirits inhabited the trees. There is one tree in the United States that people claim wails. Legend says that a young Native American woman is buried beneath its roots, and she mourns the passing of her one true love, even in death. All that we see or seem is but a dream within a dream. Edgar Allan Poe from 1827. Could it be that simple? Are the great works of art, musical masterpieces, heart-rending poetry, nothing more than the waking remembrance of dreams that haunt those who create them? I did a little research and came up with this piece in the Reader's Digest Almanac of the Uncanny, and I quote, "Convalescing after an illness in 1797, the English poet Samuel Taylor Coleridge had sedated himself with opium before he dozed off to a vivid dream. He woke a few hours later with up to 300 lines of glorious poetry in his mind and quickly began to write them down. After transcribing only 54 lines, he was interrupted by a visitor. An hour later, when the poet finally returned to his work, the remaining lines of verse had faded from his memory. What he managed to record, however, was the masterpiece Kubla Khan." End quote. A few lines from the poem itself. "A savage place, as holy and enchanted as air beneath a waning moon, was haunted by woman wailing for her demon lover." Back to the article in the Almanac of the Uncanny, and again I quote, "Throughout history, literary figures have been creatively inspired by their dreams and visions. Robert Louis Stevenson first imagined Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde through dreaming. Poet and artist William Blake's invention of illuminated printing used in publishing his poems with their color engravings was revealed to him in a vision of his dead brother Robert. Mary Shelley wrote Frankenstein after a nightmare one stormy night while staying with her husband at Lord Byron's Swiss home. Musicians, scientists, and inventors have also experienced creative dreaming. The 18th century Italian composer Giuseppe Tartini once dreamt that he sold his soul to the devil, who then played a violin piece more exquisitely beautiful than anything ever heard before. The following morning, Tartini composed his great work, The Devil's Trill Sonata, saying it was only a pale reflection of the music he had heard. Again, back to the Almanac of the Uncanny, and again I quote, Albert Einstein said he received signs and more or less clear images in formulating his scientific theories. Elias Howe had been struggling to design a sewing machine when one night in 1844 he dreamt of savage warriors whose spears had eye-shaped holes. This clue inspired him to construct a model of the special eye-pointed needle he would need. Do creative dreams come from a higher power, from other minds, from spirits of the dead? It may be that dreams emerge from the subconscious memories and knowledge normally hidden from the waking mind. End quote. It would be wonderful to think that all our inspiration comes from one source, summoned and unsolicited, that each poem is only a word in a much longer poem, each painting a drop of paint on one large canvas that is only seen in part by each different set of eyes. If we're only given a small glimpse in life, you can well imagine what the entire tapestry reveals. Edgar Allan Poe believed, "Those who dream by day are cognizant of many things which escape those who dream only by night." Margaret Sangster seems to be following the same thread as I suggested when she wrote, "Inspiration is a fragile thing. Just a breeze touching the green foliage of a city park. Just a whisper from the soul of a friend. Just a line of verse clipped from some forgotten magazine, or a paragraph standing out from the chapters of a book. Inspiration. Who can say where it is born and why it leaves us? Who can tell the reasons for its being or not being? Only this. I think inspiration comes from the heart of heaven to give the lift of wings and the breath of divine music to those of us who are earthbound." Rupert Brooke wrote, "Rainbows, and the blue bitter smoke of wood, and radiant raindrops couching in cool flowers, and flowers themselves that sway through the sunny hours, dreaming of moths that drink them under the moon." It's not only the flowers swaying and dreaming about a nighttime visitor. We too are lulled by the intense fragrance of those same flowers in the twilight. I find their perfume is more intoxicating at night. I am more likely to crouch down and breathe in their scent that has perfumed the still air. The scent of milkweed near the banks of the stream brings to mind the scent of lavender. And it's not just the aroma of the flowers and plants that can captivate us. Milton suggested that these streams may even have a voice that enchants when he wrote, "The liquid lapse of murmuring streams." Maybe this is where the expression of babbling brook came from. As the creek stops to linger in a shaded place beneath a large branch, it may have led Charles Kingsley to write this: clear and cool, clear and cool, by laughing shallow and dreaming pool. Milton supplies the poet's reverie, and pomp and feast and revelry, with mask and antique pageantry, such sights as youthful poets dream on summer eves by haunted stream. Let's not disturb the dreamer. Good night, sweet dreams. I'm Don Jackson.